Let's go, boys and girls. Live of 5. Hope you can hear me. I'm going to quickly check to make sure everyone can hear me because I can't see all the comments. We're going to get stuck into it. It's going to be epic today. I prepared loads and I'm going to take you through some really cool stuff. Let me just quickly make sure it's coming through loud and clear. Hope everyone had a good Monday, crazy weekend. Let me make sure. Got to share it. That might help, mightn't it? 2 secs. Let's go. Yes. Boys and girls, 5. Everyone can hear me. Let me quickly share this. This is a private group. Only members can see. Yeah, I know that. All the comments. There's a few coming on tonight. Jesus Christ. I might do these more. I'm going to explain about these live at 5s in a bit. I'll let a few more come on and we're going to get stuck into it. How do I share this? How do I share this? Copy link. This will do. Here we go. Right. The reason I've chose this. The reason I've chose this as my first topic to go over is because I think it's the biggest area that agents struggle with. Whether you're just starting out, whether you've been in it 17 years like I have, it's the biggest area that we all struggle with. And definitely since lockdown, I've been struggling a bit myself. So I'm going to take you all through the things that I try and work to keep structured. I'm really hoping you can get some good value out of it, and some little tricks to manage your time better. So I'm pretty certain that when you're asked of a question, do you want to choose structure or chaos? You'll always choose structure. Now, estate agency by its very nature is chaotic, right? So it's an industry that if you allow it to be, it will rule your life. And you're the one that has to come back to central. You have to be more structured in what you do. I'm going to flick in a minute so I can see the comments because everyone's saying, "Hi Perry," and I'm not sure the name. So I'll go through comments. I'll do little breaks, right? So something that I'm really certain of is that 90% of estate agents out there will probably feel like they operate chaotically if they're really honest with themselves. Chaotically, reactively, all that kind of stuff. And unless you consciously bring it to structure, you're going to have a really poor time as an agent and you're going to always feel really battered and beaten and no work-life balance. And I know this is true because it's the main area. So at Power Bespoke, we've got 12 awesome self-employed agents, many of whom I hope are on this training tonight. And we've got this anonymous kind of team. So we've got our agents, we've got our viewing specialist team, and we've got our agent assistant team, our operational team. And every single week there's an anonymous kind of survey that goes out and they can give their very honest feedback. And what I see when I break that down, it's very data led, is it's our agents the most that struggle with work-life balance. And I don't really like the wording in there, work-life balance, but it's what everyone knows it as. And Royston, my coach, has certainly taught me a lot on how to create work-life blend and not to expect balance. Because when one's up, one's down, and it shouldn't really be like that. They should all be on a level all the time. So, structure or chaos. I can see the comments, right, guys, but I can't see who's actually saying it. So I'm going to answer them. 501, we can hear you. Let me have a look. Howdy, fella. Howdy. Afternoon. We're trying to move from chaos to structure. Whoever said that, we're trying to move from chaos to structure. Try no longer. This is going to nail it for you, I promise. Blended life, yeah. And I'm massive on that. That was a real moment because go back, I used to still do, really look up to people like John McGrath. I used to I still do, the Josh Vegan training. And it was the Australians that really opened my eyes to the ideal week, the structured week, what we now call Power Bespoke, the high performing week, because we're all about performance culture. And although I knew I should do it, I didn't actually do it with any real brutality. And I use that word a lot. You've got to be brutal with your time until later in my career, when I started to grow a team. You know, when you're an agent, rightly so, you've got to serve your clients and you've got to be there for them. But I'm going to show you in a minute how to nip that in the bud so that they aren't sucking the blood out of you. Because they don't mean to do that. As a Perry special, I'm going to go off on all kinds of directions here. So just try and bear with me. Talking about structure, I'd even got a structured training session for you, but trust me, we'll get there. What I find with clients is that they don't mean to be, you know, I see agents getting, oh, they're ringing me again. Like, well, how about you should have rung them and then they won't ring you? How about that? So it's people only are on your case all the time if, and again, I learned this from Royston, if you're not serving their informational needs. If you're setting the tone, setting the expectations, setting the structure that I'm going to show you in a minute, there'd be no reason for them to call you at 7 o'clock on a Friday night. And if they are ringing you at 7 o'clock Friday night, it's probably because you didn't stick to your structure and give them all the weekend pre-call, which I'm going to take you through in a minute. So getting structure in what you do is not that hard. It's actually really simple. The hard part is the discipline to stick to it. Need some Coke, getting dry mouth, hold tight. And as I was saying a minute ago, I see this in our own agency, in that every week, you know, we're doing really well. You know, as a company, there's massive areas that we can improve in, like any company. But from the team feedback, which is all anonymous, so it's how I want it. I want it to be brutal and true. The agent team, so we've got our agents, we've got our viewing specialists, we've got our agent assistant team. It's the agent team that are struggling the most with work-life balance. And that's because as much as I try, getting people to work to a brutal structure is near impossible. What has to happen, I find, is what happened to me. You have to go near to the point of breaking point to actually realize I'm going to stick to my structure. And that happened when I started to bring on more people into Power Bespoke. I had another kid. I got married, and now I've got a wife, beautiful wife, in case she's watching. And I want a hobby. So there's all this stuff that I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna self-combust. I'm gonna have a breakdown in a minute. So I have to have a structure, otherwise I'm just gonna go bang. So here it is. The first thing, and I've got a little structure here. The first, and you know, look, bang some comments in, guys, because if you're up for it, I'm up for an hour on this quite easily. So, and we'll just go through stuff. And if it's a load of crap, just log off. I promise you, it is going to be good as we move forward. If you don't like it, then I'm sorry. The first thing with working with structure rather than with chaos is to have a structure in the first place, a written down one. Now I'm going to show you mine. This is in the Power Agent. So anyone that is watching this that's in the Power Agent that still isn't structured, that's your fault, not mine, because it's all in the Power Agent. And on that point, just regarding the Power Agent, it's been closed for now for new joinees, new people. So because we're at capacity. But if you ever wanted to jump on the Power Agent, drop a comment beneath. All this is inside the Power Agent, and you can join. Book a call with Rob. Rob takes you through our suitability calls to make sure that it is suitable for you at the stage if you are as an agent. Blah blah blah. Let me share my screen. I need to go on here to make sure it comes through. And you're gonna love this. This is the exact structure that I lead my life to. 1 second. Right, let me share. Add to stream. Can everyone see that weird looking screen? Say yes if you can see the weird looking screen. Then I'm going to flick to my proper screen in a minute because it's got a delay. Why is there such a delay on Facebook? So structure, while this is loading, so I can see if you can actually see this. Structure starts with having one, and it can't be up here. It's got to be written down. It's got to be right. Perfect. Here we go. It's coming through. There we go. Structure. This is how I work. The crazy thing here that you're going to probably be really surprised by is that all my clients get a copy of this. That's probably the secret sauce, actually, is have a structure that you stick to religiously, brutally, and share it with your client. So I try and talk people through this on the appraisal, but because I leave it with all my appraisals as well, there's a couple of little tricks in here that I'll talk you through. If I don't manage to talk them through it, if I'm sitting there chatting for 2 hours about other stuff, I'll at least send them a PDF version of this so that they know where I'm at, what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, when to expect to hear from me, when not to bother me, not bother me, but when not to call me because I won't get an answer. And it's important that we've got our team under here, because what I get across that available, we've still got an epic agent assistant team, and we've got an epic viewing specialist team. So when I'm talking people through, look, here's what to expect, Mr. Smith. On Monday, that's all about, the phone's glued to my ear. It's all about weekend follow-ups, negotiations, full listing competition and performance review. And I'll be doing that every single week for your listing because you're going to be a client of mine. And I'll be calling you and sending you an update video of where we're up to. That's with Loom, right? So all that's in the Power Agent. Now, because there's a few things, right? How I suggest you do this is write down everything you want to do with your time. So for me, it's I want to do these lives. Like I've been meaning to get more consistent with helping people in the Power Agent for months, but I never actually added it to my schedule. So now I've added it. So every single Monday at 5 p.m, we're going to be doing one of these things, talking about some stuff to be, I guess, more organized, high performing. We're going to cover prospecting, listing, servicing, and selling, which is everything an agent needs to be world class at. So I've put it in here now. So every Monday at 5, I'll be doing the Power Agent live training like this. And straight after this video, I'm going to be putting in some new content into the Power Agent resource, right? Into the full course. And because I know that I've got loads to build in on Monday, I'm working late. So this is my kind of designated late night, right? I've got my late night catch up and close offs, I call them. Tuesday, all about follow-ups, negotiation and progression in the morning, prep for meetings. Afternoon, this is the same for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Afternoon is 2, 4, 6 p.m. meetings. That really helps, because when someone calls me up and says, Perry, I've been recommended, can you come and see me? I'm like, yeah, cool. What's better for you, Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday? Oh, Tuesday, wicked, 2, 4 or 6. And so it makes it really good just to be more productive with your time. And that'll go on to the next thing in a minute I'm going to talk about cutting to the chase and no waffle, but we'll come to that. So that's the same. I'll make very clear that if I'm not in meetings in the afternoons, it's my kind of personal improvement and family time. Wednesdays, I've just decided that I need a hobby because I haven't got one, basically, and I think I need one, and I'm getting older and I need to be a bit fitter. So I've just started, I've just joined the local tennis club, and I've started having weekly coaching sessions for tennis. Wednesday at 10 will be tennis. So that day I'm going to be doing my follow-ups, banging them all out. And I work quite a lot on SMS with follow-ups. So I'd send SMSs first thing in the morning, and in the afternoon, I'll sweep up the ones that I've not heard back on the phone. I find that works great for Mondays because people tend to everyone's busy Mondays. Anyway, we'll come back to that. That's all in the training for the Power Agent. So tennis lesson, and then I get back from that, I'm going to be doing my negotiations and progression, so ongoing negotiations. So today I've had 4 offers to negotiate on the same house, and I'm going to talk you through how that slotted into my Monday plan today. That's the same in the afternoons. Thursday the same. Now Fridays are a tricky one, right? Because Fridays is a big day, because for the agents at Power Bespoke, their kind of whole day should be focused, and any agent, not just Power Bespoke, you watching this, in my opinion, how I've worked well over the years. Some people talk about chunking down prospecting to be 1 hour a day. I prefer to have a kind of focus for the day. So I work on what I call the 80% rule. So that as long as 80% of my time that day can be focused on the focus of the day, then it's cool. Of course, we get the odd call from a buyer gazumping their offer on a Friday afternoon, or a client's got something really urgent to talk to you about, or something happens that takes your attention away. Well, that's fine as long as it's only 20% of the day and it doesn't eat up your whole day. What you can do, let's say a buyer gazumps, you'll be like, great, let me do the bare minimum, but I'm going to crack on to that tomorrow morning, Mr. Smith, as soon as I'm out of my meetings this afternoon, and I'll be back in touch. So how my Friday plans out, same again. It's a carnage day because you've got to do follow-ups, negotiations and progression very early on. Then 11 a.m. every single week, we have our agent video meeting. And then I have to do some prospecting on Friday. If I don't do any at all, even as the business has grown and we're recruiting for new people and we've got new agents starting, I have to still prospect on a Friday. That's the rules. So I've only got an hour now. I used to spend pretty much from about 11 o'clock onwards all day prospecting. But now if I can get an hour in, this comes back to cut to the chase, cut out the waffle. When you're doing stuff, if you cram so much into your week, you ain't got choice but to be more productive, because you know when that clock hits, I know that when that clock hits 2 o'clock, I can't do any more prospecting because I have to be doing. So bi-weekly, we've just launched a new kind of Power Circle Zoom group coaching program. If I'm not doing that, so that's bi-weekly. And then every 2 weeks on Friday at 2 o'clock, we're doing our agent coaching at Power Bespoke, so training for just our agents. They don't know that yet. So if you're on this call, then there's a little bit of early news for you. And then I do my pre-weekend calls to my clients. So that's where I'm preempting them for the Saturday and the Sunday. There's no point in calling me, in a nice way. So Saturday just gone, I had, I think, 4 viewings at one of my listings. I was pre-calling all the viewers to say, hey guys, I'm Perry, I'm the agent. Sorry I can't be there tomorrow. You're being looked after by Julie, my viewing assistant. She's absolutely awesome. But I thought I'll text you my number so you've got it. Drop me a text over the weekend. Best not to call me because I'll be with my family. If you've got any questions, that kind of stuff. Getting ahead of the curve. Also call my clients to say, quick weekend pre-call, cracking news to say that we've got 4 viewings booked tomorrow. All that kind of stuff. And because I kind of go beast mode during the week, I want to finish early on a Friday. I want to try and get finished at 6 o'clock, which is early. We're a proper estate agency here at Power Bespoke. That's the running joke. So it's built in there. And then that's where I have my son Bailey every other weekend. I probably want to look to these in the morning sometimes. If I bang out my day plan, I'm going to do the school run, just walk the kids to school, all that kind of stuff. Saturdays, and you're probably thinking, why do you share this much detail with your clients? Well, it's very important that they know that Saturdays, I'll take the kids tennis. But don't panic, Mr. Smith, because we've got Julie, Jenny and Becky covering my diary, and they're awesome. Sunday, family time. And again, we put in there that if there's any viewings, that be covered by my viewing specialist. And then Sunday nights, 8 o'clock onwards, I love chilling out on the sofa, bit of telly on the laptop, getting ahead of the curve. And here's how it translates. So that's the structure, right? That's not my diary. That's the structure that we try and work to. And then my kind of week, this is my week's diary so far. This is this week. So it's pretty mad. As planned, I've got an appraisal at quite a big house at 1 o'clock on Thursday. We've got the Power Circle. We've got the agent meeting. We've got loads going on. I've got some interviews. I've got some video interviews. I've got some physical interviews for a new position at Power Bespoke. We've got the viewing meeting with our viewing team. So that pretty much is how the structure, I believe, should run. You should have if you're still building your team and you're still building your listings, then you really need to be having that Monday client contact, just like I have, still the same. It's predominantly client contact, whether I've got 1 client or 5 clients. Really important that you have that. We're now Monday at 5 o'clock, so I'm doing the live, and then afterwards I'll do some content, and there'll probably be a few client calls that I've got to make tonight. So this is my late night, which I've kind of written off to be a late night, but I'm going to make up for it on Friday because I'm going to aim to finish a bit earlier and be more productive with my time during the week. So having a structure, go and build your structure, right? So Nicole, one of our agents, she's awesome. She likes to block her diary so she has a Wednesday off. You know, no such thing as off. You know, some things happen. She's a night owl. She works really late into the evenings. She'll log on some Sundays, but she likes that day to focus on herself. And I think that's really important if that's what you want to do as an agent. I'm quite content going beast mode, but having my 10 o'clock Wednesday tennis lesson, and I need lessons, trust me, and then hanging out with the kids down the tennis club, playing tennis, might go for something to eat afterwards on a Saturday. But some Saturdays I work. So the other week I'd done the launch day and I was back-to-back viewing most of the day. So I made up for that elsewhere in the week. So I finished a bit early, or I might have got the kids from school and all that kind of stuff. So it's the 80% rule. As long as 80% of my time of that week can be kind of pigeonholed, whatever comes in, whether it's catch up with the agents, I might do that later in the afternoon and eat into my personal time, because I'm cool with that at times. I'd rather do an appraisal at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday than a Saturday, so then that's going to eat into my personal time. But I might have nothing in the diary between 2 and 4, so I might hang out with the kids for a bit after school. And obviously, guys, as well, it's really important to know that this isn't, if you're just starting out as an agent, like when I first set up Power Bespoke up with me and a mobile phone, we were everything. I was viewing specialist, agent assistant, listing, negging, progressing. Like you've got to expect in your first probably 2 years to be a bit chaotic, and in your structure, you might have a structure for that's my late night for viewings, and that's my focus day for progression. So I mentioned Nicole, she focuses her day on Tuesday on progression. I would probably, personally, I would do mine chunking it down. Doesn't really matter how you structure it to a certain extent. The point is, the first thing is that you've got a structure. So mine changed yesterday because I only just signed up to the tennis club on Saturday. So now I'll put, no, I want tennis. I want to get a bit of tennis in each week. That's a bit of me time. Me and Tash don't really eat out in restaurants, but we might order a Wagamama's to be delivered once or something every couple of weeks, and that'd be part of my personal time. That's really important to make sure that however your structure is, you nail it and you tweak it as you go, but everything falls into that category of where does that sit. If it's a client review, if it's a second viewing, if it's a first appraisal, it will be in that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2, 4, or 6. It might even be 7. I'm quite cool with that. Today, I broke the rules a little bit before this live. So I done all my client updates, and there's one client that lived not far from me. We've got 4 offers to discuss, and I thought I'll quickly jump in my car, and I went around there for an hour. We sat in their garden talking through the offers, because that'd be a quicker way to get the deal tied than sitting there on the phone for an hour and emailing for ages. It was really good. So I flexed it a little bit, but it was fine. The main structure of that week and that day has been achieved. There's an interesting book, right? Fire any questions as I go along. Like it's rule number 1 is get a structure, whatever it might be, nail it. I showed you a minute ago my version. Rewind, pause it, have a look, all that kind of stuff after the live. Rule number 2. What I find is everyone's great at creating a structure, which is step number 1, but then they're terrible at sticking to it. So that then comes down to discipline and learning to say the word no. Let's touch on that a little bit, because I've got quite good at that, and I wish I'd learned this. To get really structured and organised in my time, I had to be to the point of near breaking point to realise I need it. I really want you guys to not get to that level and just start working with more structure, more intent in your days, communicating early with clients on instruction. This is my structure. Your life will be so much easier, because that's when they would say, oh, quick one, but what if I need you to say, no worries, drop a message in the WhatsApp group. If I'm not available, one of my assistants will be available in the office and they'll help until I am available. But rule number 1, get a structure. Rule number 2, stick to it. That's the discipline. That's a really hard thing. And start thinking. I read a book. Write this down. The 12-week year. Right? I'm going to have a drink while you're writing that down. The 12-week year. Totally changed my mindset. What this book is something like this. Imagine 12 months was actually 12 weeks. How would you manage your time? So because I've now only got an hour on a Friday to prospect, you bet your bottom dollar I'm prospecting the lowest hanging fruit, and I'm being straight to the point, and I'm saying to them, look, John, I see you're still for sale. What date should we agree for me to take over? How about the 29th of September? Is that good for you? And then you've got to be direct. You've got to stop the fluff. You've got to stop the kind of waffle. Like, oh, you know, is Perry at Power Bespoke? Just checking in. How's it? No. I see you're still for sale. I want to do something about that for you. How does 29th September? If you serve your agent notice now, then I'll arrange for my photographers to come around before then, so there's no downtime. So when you've got that structure, you've got that discipline, and stuff comes into you. Let's say it's like, 5 o'clock, right? Let's say I'll get a message right now from a client, from a buyer. Oh, Perry, I've had my survey back. Terrible. I'll reply saying, hi, John, no worries at all. I'm sure we can solve all that. Give you a call tomorrow around 11 and we'll go through it all. I'm not going to call him tonight because I've got my structure and my plan for tonight. He ain't going to go nowhere for 12 hours. 12 hours? A bit more. And I'll nail it and fix it tomorrow. So I think it's really important to get that structure created into a document, ideally we use Google G Suite in Power Bespoke. So a Google Doc, so it can easily be changed as like my situation was. I've got tennis. I want to play tennis once a week. How am I going to build that in? But to start with your structure, write down all the things that you need to get in there, right? So let's start with being an estate agent. I know this is going against all the rules, but prospecting, always start with big rocks. I get that. But let's prospecting, listing, servicing, selling, right? You think, right, great. Those are the 4 things I've got to do. When am I going to do that? Write down tennis or golf or whatever your hobbies might be. I'm trying to get into tennis. So that's important. Let's date night. That's really important. Probably should do that more. I think Tash might be on the live. Personal improvement. When you're going to do that? I'm massive on. I just love sitting there, hanging out, on watching. It's funny in my household. My kids sitting there watching how to play Fortnite, and I'm sitting on YouTube as well, watching Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, all them kind of things. I've just signed up to that. What's it called? I forget now. I put a post in a little while ago, where it's like online streaming for all the important things like negotiation and that kind of stuff. So that's my personal improvement. Comes in evening times. See on my schedule when it's after 8 o'clock, I'll have a bit of dinner, and then I might sit and watch a bit of negotiation strategies on YouTube or something like that. So get all these things written down, and then you're thinking, damn, I ain't really got much time for anything other than getting this organized and making sure it all gets slotted in. So when someone rings in, hey Perry, I've been recommended, can you help me sell my house? Perfect, yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Actually, I'm fully stacked out on Tuesday. How's Wednesday or Thursday? I've got 2 or 4 o'clock available. Which one works for you? Because you know that's in there. When it comes to our team one-to-ones, I get them scheduled later in the afternoon. So just get it structured, execution and discipline to make sure you stick to it. That's massive. Read the 12-week year. So enlightening, because it is really true. We all work on a 12-month year, but if you think differently like everyone else and you start thinking, well, how could I achieve what I normally achieve in 12 months in 12 weeks? What would have to change? It will change you entirely. You'll be thinking on another level to everyone else. You'll be thinking, yeah, there's no point doing that anymore because it's burning my time. You get really hot with your time management and you cut out the fluff. One of our brand standards at Power Bespoke is just cut to the chase. With internal communication, we don't need the niceties because that eats into our performance. We need to actually just get to the cuts of the chase, and we'll have quarterly nicety meetings where we're seeing how everyone's weekend was. Like it's brutal and it's harsh, but clients don't really care how your weekend was. They care about is a house getting sold for the best price as quickly as possible. So that's half an hour, man. That ain't too bad. I think that was pretty concise. So you've got a choice now. Stick to a structure. I've just shared you the one that we work with at Power Bespoke. It's all in the Power Agent if you wanted to jump into that at some point. But you've got to have one. There's no point having it up here because you forget it. You need to have a structure written down on a Google sheet and stick to it. Flex it every now and then. You might, I don't know, my tennis coach might decide he might want to teach me tennis on Thursdays rather than Wednesdays. So that's going to have to move. Something else to go on Wednesday. Have the discipline to stick to it, like brutal discipline. Phone on do not disturb, face down. Because if you miss a client call, it's fine. Because you would have shared with them your schedule. And they're going to know it. They're going to call you thinking, oh, let me try and catch Perry on the off chance, but I know he's probably in meetings, or I know he's actually chilling out with his family. Well, guess what actually happens is they feel bad. You'll get a text saying, Perry, I'm so sorry. I'm hoping to pick your brains on something. I've just seen a house I'm running with that I really like. And then I'll reply saying, oh, really sorry, John. Freddie's kicking off, or just eating dinner. Can we chat in the morning? Or, yeah, give me 20 minutes and I'll give you a shout back. That builds remarkability, right? I don't think in 17 years I've ever come across a client that moaned about being communicated to too much. And by that, I mean, show them your schedule, be upfront with them about what you're doing and when. This is my focused kind of time to focus on getting your place sold, reviewing the market, ring back for everyone that's viewed, all that kind of stuff. It's just so important that they know it so that there's no nasty surprises. The biggest complaint of estate agents is, he said he's all, gave me his mobile number, said he's always available, ring him anytime. I ring him anytime, he don't even answer. It's probably because that agent didn't communicate when is a good and bad time to be speaking. Quick comment. How much you are replay time? You are 110% dedicated estate agent. Yeah, totally. You never stop thinking about it. So I'm sure the tennis club will become a tennis club lead generator. I actually thought to myself, I could probably get in here, a bit of networking as well, because I need to do networking. I've not done any physical networking for ages. A lot of my stuff, I hang out in Facebook groups. It's all kind of social media. But yeah, definitely it's going to be a networking opportunity. Even if it isn't intended, when people ask, yeah, exactly. But with a structure, at least you're halfway there, all between the ears. You must stick to it. Exactly what I'm trying to get across. Have one. Once you've got one, right, it's going to take you 6 months to probably stick to it. I've rarely come across someone that creates one, like a written down document. It's like a plan, right? A plan isn't real until it's written down. A structure isn't real until it's written down. But then, like a plan, you've got to keep revisiting it for it to become a reality. Like a structure, you actually need to keep looking at it every day. It's a tab that's open in my browser every single day. Every single day I can see in my browser tab that I've got my structure open. And if I'm caught short and I'm like, oh yeah, it goes in there. And that's when I'll offer the time availability. I had a call last week from a client, a lovely lady. I sold a house down her road, July this year. She rung me and said, I'm on the market with 2 agents, 1.4 million, struggling to sell. Can you pop round tomorrow to come and see me? Unfortunately, tomorrow didn't work because she rang me on Thursday. And I said, I would love to come round. I know I can help you. We specialise, 57% of properties we sell fail to sell with another estate agent. I know I can help, but I'm stacked until next Thursday. What's better for you, 4 or 6? She was like, 4 works well. So now I'm seeing her at 4 o'clock. I could, and some might argue I should have gone and seen her the next day. But here's the thing, and let's talk a little bit of my beliefs about using the word no. Clearly, you would never just say no, but you got to get used to saying no in a polite, professional way. And there's that old saying that really resonated with me, when you say yes, you're saying no to something else. So when you say yes to those same day, next day, really late appraisals, eating into your chill time, at what cost? At what cost are you doing that? Is it to the cost of you not updating your clients fully? So are you gaining 1, but are you losing 2 at the back door? Is it to the cost of you're already spangled? You know you shouldn't be saying yes, but you're desperate for the listing because you've not been prospecting for the last 6-8 weeks. So you're going to say yes. And you haven't been prospecting for the last 6 to 8 weeks because you're not being structured and disciplined enough to stick to your Friday prospecting or your morning hour a day, small bites. Depends how you work. Some people work well with small bites. I always find that something else more important comes through the door by 9:30 in the morning. So there goes your 10 to 11 prospecting, or you'll need to be a better, more disciplined person than me to open your inbox and ignore it all until you've done your prospecting. So I like to block it out as a theme for the day. Monday client contact, Friday prospecting, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday appointments, Saturday, Sunday recuperation, chill. But I'm going hard during the week until some nights 10 o'clock, which is cool. I'm fine with that. I feel like I've got a really good work-life balance. As long as I get my tennis in, as long as I've been indoors today quite a bit. I've been out to see a client. I saw Freddie. I saw Henry when he got in from school. So it's I'm pretty content. I might work a lot. I'm not digging up roads. I'm actually helping someone move house. So I don't need to shut off entirely. I mean, come 10 o'clock, I'll do like an hour of been watching The Fall. There's a little tip for you. That's proper well good. You get right into that zone right out. So I'll do like an hour of just trash Netflix just to chill out and get my mind elsewhere. Because if I'm not doing that, it's spinning like crazy thinking about what's next. But yeah, hope that's helped. Really quite powerful stuff when you design your structure. One that has to work for you as well. Has to work for you. Use mine as a base by all means, or a bit of inspiration, but don't just copy mine. Get one that's the only things that I think you should be having a structure on personally. Depends what stage. If you've got a viewing team, if you haven't, then you might need to just go beast mode 6-7 days a week for your first 12 months. We've all been there. It's the way it goes. But if you can manage your time better and have your Monday to Friday beast mode and a couple of days recuperation at the weekend, that's important. I've never been a fan of half days to relax because you never actually do. I've got to wake up in the mindset of I'm not on today, and I need to go to sleep in the mindset that I'm on tomorrow or I'm not on tomorrow. When you're on, you're on. When you're off, you're off. And as long as your clients are aware of that, there's no problem at all. And actually, what happens is you do better because you stick to what you say you're going to do. So clients, they get a call every single Monday, as you promised. They get a Loom video market update showing the reductions around them, the new instructions around them. And if we don't get any more interest next week, we're going to have to come down to this price from next week onwards. That just happens because it's part of your structure that's non-negotiable. If you're running around doing appraisals on Monday afternoons when you really shouldn't be, and then your clients start seeing a level of inconsistency and you've not followed through on your promise of an update every Monday and a bit of progression every single day, then you're going to start becoming non-remarkable. And remarkable doesn't get higher fees. Non-remarkable, unremarkable, doesn't get higher fees, doesn't get recommendation. So the structure, it all starts with the structure and the discipline. But be lenient on yourself. 80% rule. Clearly something's going to come in. A team member might have a real problem that they've got to solve that then throws me off my structure, but that's fine. Quickly nip it in the bud. No fluff. Cut to the chase. Back to what I was doing. There we go, boys and girls. That's it. That is it. Nothing else I wanted to show you. Hope you found it helpful. I'm going to try and do these every Friday. Let's see how disciplined and structured I can be. You'll know if I'm being structured and disciplined. If I fade out and you don't see a live here and there on a Monday afternoon, then you know that I've not even taken my own advice. But I'm pretty confident I can do this. And every week I'm going to pull something out the Power Agent full course and we're going to talk about it in the open group. It's going to be wicked. Like I said before, if you wanted to jump into the Power Agent full course and smash through it, it's pretty life-changing. Yeah, I'm going to put it out there. It's definitely changed the lives for a lot of agents that have been through it. Because I'm no rocket science. I'm just a sponge. I've learned off loads of people and I've put my own twist on it and it's epic. So have a chat, put a comment below. Rob will reach out. He'll jump on a call with you about a suitability call. It's not for everyone. That's why I've closed it. It's invitation only because it's not for everyone. It's for agents that have got the structure and discipline, but they want to improve on it and just really commit to go to the next level. Or if you're starting agency, it's really good. Take care. I'm now going to record some more content. Got a few client calls to make. Drop me a message if I can do anything to help. And I'll see y'all soon. Over and out.